Hello, everyone. So today I'm going to be reading some of the greatest Batman stories ever told. Reading a few excerpts of this for a little bit. Part one. So this is the new one I got. So I'm going to be starting off with the first issue ever made here. I'm going to read this. One of the first ones. The Batman, weird menace to all crimes at last, meets an opponent worthy of his mettle, a strange creature cowed like a monk by possessing the power of a Satan. A man whose powers are uncanny, whose brain is the product of years of intense study and seclusion. Through the dark of a New York night, soon now, and I shall know. Distance knows no bounds by which to hold the eerie figure. He sights a quarry. I have been sent to you by the master monk. Help, help! As if an answer to the doomed man. Who are you? Remain until I give you leave to go. The Batman recognizes his fiancée. Julie, you. What am I doing here? Who are you? But if you're taking me home, how do you know where I live? Why don't you talk? You won't tell me a thing. But won't you tell me who you are? Tell your fiancé Bruce Wayne all that happened. Good night. Next morning, Bruce Wayne is called into his fiancée's home. Bruce, there's something I must tell you. A man dressed as enormous bat family last night on the street, about to kill a man. Good Lord, Julie, suppose you had. We'd better see Dr. Trent right away. Scarcely 2 hours later. Young lady, I've seen victims of expert hypnotist exhibit your symptoms. Don't you recall anything that would suggest something like that? I advise an ocean village. Yes, an ocean voyage to Paris and perhaps later to Hungary, the land of history and werewolves. One ticket to Paris, please, poor cabin. I don't like the crack the doctor made about werewolves, Julie, and he seemed hypnotized himself when he gave you that advice, but maybe I'm imagining things. Of course, I'm worried, but I will be good, I promise. But I'll be good, I promise. Back at the Wayne Mansion, Julie'd be surprised to know her Batman is her future husband. And in a secret hangar known only to himself. 2 new weapons, my Batgyro and wits to follow Julie and the flying battering, modeled after Australian Bushman's boomerang. Welcome back! The other world, we were attacked by Martians! And out to sea while on board the lunar lady, a monster bat flying over the ocean. Fixing his automatic controls, Batman prepares for a visit. You're here? Ju explains her plight to the Batman. And so that's why I'm here. If look out. The eyes of the gaunt figure seem to burn. He's the arch criminal known only as the monk. That man has uncanny powers. I seem to be hypnotized. It's harder and harder to move. By tremendous effort of will, the Batman leaps into action. The spell is broken. The monk evades the battering. The Batman leaps for the rope ladder. Batman, anxious to get to the bottom of the mystery, follows the ship and the monk to Paris. Paris at last. Search begins. The trail leads everywhere. Help the devil himself! Weird figure is seen all over Paris until one night. Julie at last. A warm reception has been prepared for him. You can see a big gorilla. Batman newly dodges the huge ability to slide through the sliding door and tumbles down into a gigantic net. Caught like a rat in a trap as the net closes about him, the Batman once again faces the diabolical Master Monk. Rats mortal to dare face the power of the monk. Look below you at your fate when I pull this lever. The red. The net begins to drop slowly into a den of snakes. In a flash, the Batman flips his batarang. The net stops its downward plight as the batarang knocks over the lever. Continuing onto the upward sweep, it crashes into a glass chandelier. Chandelier right there. Batman grasps the batarang in the broken glass. A hero gesture, but a futile one. The lever will remain down this time. Working against time, Batman severs strand after strand, freeing himself none too soon. Batman, full pursuit of the fleeing monk. Suddenly, a barred door drops between the Batman and the monk. Die here, you fool! I send the girl Julie to my castle in Hungary to feed my werewolves. The gigantic gorilla is lowered as the Batman is caged by bars all above about him. The Batman makes a desperate leap for the rope to lower the gorilla. As he climbs, hand over hand, up the rope, he sights the guard about to draw a gun. The batarang hits its mark. The idling Batplane hovers above the Batman. Its powerful car races towards Hungary. The shadow of the Bat follows it. Batman prepares to board the car from the air. That's pretty cool. A glass pellet filled with gas is thrown into the car. The car swerves into a tree. The monk knew better than to come, but I can save Julie. The Batman makes a valiant leap for the bladder of his Batplane. When Julie is safe, the Batman plans on vengeance. Poor kid. And sets his automatic controls to Hungary, home of the vicious monk and his werewolves. And that will be the next one, I believe. Or I might just go straight to another story. Let's see. This continuation of the monk. Maybe continuation. Okay. Point of swing out to the Batman reaction. Bruce Wayne has trailed a sinister figure cowed like a monk into Hungary. Yeah, so it's the rest of the story. Like an animal of prey, the Batman watches his quarry. On the end of a silken cord, the Batman races over and drops like a huge bat onto a speeding carriage. The story of this one is by Gardner Fox, art by Bob Kane, coloring by Tom Zuko from both these stories. He wipes out a glass pellet of choking gas, and the fumes overcome the occupant of the cab. Instead of his quarry, the monk the Batman finds. What? The eerie figure of Batman returns to his Batman. I don't know who she is, but I have a feeling I'll soon find out. Strange for anyone traveling alone out here and get the monk, I wonder. Yes, he's coming too. I hope Julie is safe. Who are you? My name is Dahlia. I seem to have been kidnapped by your friend here. The night the Batman safeguards his fiancée, the stranger. Despite the night, the Batman hears sobbing moans. Through the open door comes the woman, Dahlia. The Batman is startled to note blood on the woman's lips and fears for Julie's safety. Suddenly, Dahlia grabs out of her trance, grabs a statuette, and Batman. Batman is stunned momentarily, allowing the strange woman to escape. Batman returns to Julia's throat, shows 2 red spots, marks of the vampire. Should have known. Never should have trusted her. So you won't get too far. Like a plummet, the Batman overtakes his prey. You shall talk now, Dahlia, you witch. I thought you an accomplice of your evil master who calls himself the monk. So you are vampires. You want to know where the monk is? You fear him? Well, I do too. I'll tell you where you may find him if you promise to kill him. I'll be the judge of that. Where does this monk hide? In the Lost Mountains of Cathalia by the turbulent river Dress. I shall guide you. The money will safeguard you. I'm going. You must fight against the power that calls you to this monk. Oh, I will fight, I will, but I am so afraid without you, Julie says. And so the Batman and Dahlia depart on their weird mission towards the stronghold of the monk, wings the eerie Batplane. Suddenly, the Batman sees a great silver net that seems to operate by magic, which drags the Batplane earthward. Let me put some light in here. Can't really see very well, can you? Put some more light here. A little bit better. Not perfect, but a little bit better. A little bit. Not. He falls into the lines band. The Batman swiftly extracts a glass pellet from his belt. The gas in the exploding pellet overcomes the wolf. The light but strong rope fails to carry to the pit's edge. Towards the dawn, the wolves awake. Flashing fangs again menace the Batman. Uh-oh. In trouble. Batman fingers find his hidden batarang. So is it? One strong cast will win me freedom. Batarang slips past a stone post and the rope holds. The Batman climbs to safety and then seeks his vengeance. Safe so far, now for the others. A silver statue. While the vampires sleep during the daytime, I sell. Okay, I'm getting the voice here. A silver statue. While the vampire sleeps during the daytime, I shall meet the statue and make 2 silver belts, one for Dahlia and one for the monk. Only a silver belt may kill a vampire. And to find the open tomb into which these vampires sleep and bring them death that will release Julie. Batman pauses before the other tombs of the vampires. Oh, this is where he actually kills him. This is interesting. This was controversial at the time. First time he actually killed. It's right there. Right there. Now read it. Never again will you harm any mortal being. And he grabs the gun and shoots him. Spell is broken. Life returns once again to Joy. I don't know who you are, but you saved my life, and I shall be forever grateful. And that's the end of it, that one. So we read 2 stories so far. There's a ton in here. It goes all the way to like the 80s, and then it stops. Yeah. This was released in 89, so. There's a ton more in here. Yeah, this is fun reading these. So I'll read one more. Yeah, I'll read one more. And I'll read more another day too. Already know what's legendary figure, the cowled shadow of the Batman, prowls through the night, preying upon the criminal parasite. Like the winged creature whose name he had adopted, while an innocent Metropolis sleeps, little does realize the huge, terrifying man, monster shall soon stalk the streets and bring to them havoc and destruction. Little does Bruce Wayne suspect that fate shall touch his shoulder and single him out as the one to do battle with these monsters. As he goes forth, clad in the garb of the weird and menacing Batman, story by Bill Finger, art by Bob Kane, and coloring by Nancy, quite a name, Houlihan. Nancy. Not long ago, the Batman seen the arch criminal Dr. Hugo Strange in prison, and yet one of you men get the warrants. We'll use them as sealed. Okay, Strange. What's work? Professor Hugo Strange is free to carry out the next of his diabolical schemes. Professor Strange escapes in prison break. Extra, extra. Read all about it. The next night, the Metropolis is insane asylum. Get them out quickly. Come on, nuts. Goody, goody, goody. Oh, good. I like the art back then. It's very simplistic, but I like the way it's, still very colorful. That night, the home of Bruce Wayne. Flats, a guard identified Professor Strange, the leader of the men who freed 5 insane patients from the city insane asylum. Insane men? Criminal maniacs is strange. It can only be up to one thing, something new in crime, something fantastic, and something very terrible. A month later, crowded street in lower Manhattan. Man, look, help! What is it? It isn't human. A gigantic Hulk looms above them, huge and terrible. Help, a monster will all be killed. Horrible creature begins its wave of destruction. Look, bullets don't stop him. He's still living. Enraged beast seems to go mad. Run for your lives! People panic. As more police run up the street, the monster rips up a lamppost. The monster wields left with terrible effect. Suddenly, as police cars appear, the monster lumbers towards a truck idling nearby. There he goes, towards the truck. Step on it! The police car starts in pursuit. As police draw near, the monster hurls something at the car. The monster made good his escape by bombing the police car. The people could be the work of only one man, Strange. If I know Professor Strange, there will be more of them to come. I must stop him. Again, the next day, the monster appears. Help, it's tearing down They'll all be killed. As police can't pursue, they meet the same fate as those before. The night truck should lead me straight to the hideout of Hugo Strange. Well, looks like the end of my search. A few minutes later. Looks like a trap. I've got to chance it. Batman cautiously steps inside, failing to notice huge hands. Caught in very neatly, too. I expected to see your ugly face around here. I had a hunch you were behind this. We meet again, Professor Strange. Now that you caught me, I don't suppose I'll live very long. Grant me a dying man's request to tell me how you created these monsters and why. With the greatest of pleasure, my dear Batman. If you look closely, you will recognize their pictures in the papers. They are the escaped lunatics. And these are monsters. I made them. So I discovered my extract that speeds up the growth glands. I inject this fluid into a normal man. The sudden growth not only distorts the body, but also the brain, and soon he is a monster. I have set out a monster enclosed in bulletproof material so the public and the police may be reacquainted with him tomorrow. I shall send out 2 monsters while the police are concerned with them. My men will loot the banks. Clever, isn't it? You know, at times I'm amazed at my own genius. An evil genius, Strange. Remove his belt of gas capsules. I want no escape. I'm going to inject the fluid into you, my dear Batman. You are to be a monster. A monster, ha ha. You fiend. That is no way to talk to your master. Soon you will be a monster and obey me as they do. Prepare to meet your fate. Done. Observe the clock, Batman. It is exactly 6 o'clock at night. The serum takes 18 hours before it works. At precisely noon tomorrow, the serum will take effect. Massive Fist crawls against the Batman's jaw with blackness. Now remember, 3 men take a monster. 1 will go by day and avenue, and the other at the post road. Now get going and no slip-ups. Don't restrain, those banks are as good as open right now. I've got to get out of here. They took my belt, but they don't know about my boot heels. By mixing some chemicals I have in them, I can make it explosive. The trucks have gone with them as the monsters, so that at least gives me a chance. I'm a waiter. That does it. Wait, you out? Yes. And so are you. The powerful blow sends Strange out to follow the murky waters below. What if this really is the end of Professor Hugo Strange? Meanwhile, time is flying. It must be almost time for the serum to work. I've got to stop it. Suddenly, the door opens and 3 monsters. The rest of the monsters. There's still a chance. Although your bulletproof clothing protects you from bullets, it doesn't from this. If this doesn't catch, then I'll catch it from the monsters. Big boy, here I come. I bet you're surprised. It's cool. Right. Hope this works. It worked, and now I've got to work fast to stop the serum. I've only got 5 minutes. The comp scheme is that Batman practically makes a compound so that he may not become like the man monsters who battle around him. This combo watches an antidote stop any access action from the growth glands. There it is. I've beaten Hugo Strange by a single minute. They've killed each other as I hoped they would. They are now dead. 2 live. They're in those trucks. One is on Daly Avenue, and the other on Post Road. I can still catch them. A moment later, Batman rises into the air. The Post Road first. Won't be long now with the quits. The monkey in the back starts a riot, kills a few people, and crack a bank. A sweet racket. But out of the sky, spitting death at the Batman. Much as I hate to take human life, I'm afraid this time it's necessary. Ooh, I'm gonna take one. Okay, be more vigilante again in this too. Bullets take their toll. The truck crashes into a tree. As the monster rises, the steel-like ropes on the Batman loops about his neck. I've wrote steers before, but you're much more deadly. Jack tries to break the ever-tightening rope. It's probably better off this way. Now we'll cut the fellow down and go to Daly Avenue for the last monster. Help! The monster is back! Same monster starts to climb the tower. Up he climbs and finally to the top. The bulletproof clothes protect the monster. Bulletproof, don't stop him. I know it will. This time, gas pellets. This gas takes effect. The monster once more sees the bat plane, shakes his hands defiantly, and then topples off to his doom. There goes the last of the monsters. Yet I have a feeling that the biggest monster of them all, Professor Hugo Strange, will live. Perhaps we shall meet again. Yep, and that's the end of that. 20 minutes in. Well, I read about almost three stories. Yeah, it's pretty good. Maybe we'll call it for today. But yeah, for those on the reread, check this out. I read 3 stories so far from the Batman Greatest Stories Ever Told collection. And I will continue with the Knights of Navarre, which will be the next story. I will do that Friday. Friday will be the next stream. All right, guys. Hope you have a good rest of your day. And no people, it's okay. I did do this without scheduling it. So I'm going to schedule it, and I'm going to schedule it for 9 o'clock Friday morning. All right, guys. Take care. Peace. If you like what you see, subscribe to the channel. Bye for now.